Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It is March 20th, 2023, and we are in the Old Testament, and we're going to read from the book of Exodus, and we're going to read chapter 24 today. Okay, so where are we at in this story? Well, Moses has gone up on the mountain, and God has given him gave him the Ten Commandments and a whole bunch of rules and laws, and now he's sending Moses back down the mountain to the people to tell them, hey, all right, this is what God wants to do. And essentially we're going to get the covenant reaffirmed again. And what is the covenant? Well, sometimes you'll hear it called a suzerain contract or a vassal contract. Essentially the idea is maybe a king and his subjects are going to have a contract. A lord and his vassals are going to have a contract. God and his people are going to have a contract. The guy with all the power and the people without power are going to have a contract. You're going to honor me and obey me and do what I tell you. In exchange, I'll take care of you guys and protect you. Basically what that is. We've seen a few of these done. We started with the Adam one, and it was just, hey, one law: don't eat that. That was the only thing in the counter. You don't eat that, and everything will be okay. And we broke that one, and Adam broke that one. So we got another contract, and that went down through Noah: obey me, do what I'm telling you. That worked out okay through the flood, and then Noah got drunk and things got a little crazy. So we had another contract. We had a contract with Abraham. You know what? You honor me and obey me, and I will increase your descendants and give you the promised land. And that worked pretty good through Abraham and Isaac and Jacob. And then as they went under Joseph, they went into Egypt and became enslaved in bondage to Egypt, but they grew into a nation and they've come out of the nation. Now that old covenant doesn't quite work, because now there's a lot more people. There were only about 100 people that went into Egypt. There's thousands that have come out. So now they need this new contract, which is still on God's part the same: honor me and obey me and love me. But now there's a whole bunch of rules on our side because there's thousands of us, and we got to live with each other, and we got to deal with each other. And God wants his say in this matter. So Moses takes this contract down to the people and says, all right, here's what God says. And the people say, okay, we'll take it. So they weren't coerced into it. They agree that they're going to do all that God told them they will do. Now, they don't actually end up doing it, and that's the rest of this story. But again, this is the covenant that comes under Moses. We're going to see another one that comes under David. And then we see the final one that comes under Jesus, which is a little bit different because that's not a contract between God and us people. That's like this is a contract between God and Jesus. And that's the contract we live in. That's the covenant we live under, because now Jesus says, all right, I can make a contract as an equal because I am God. And now all you got to do is love me and love each other and do what I tell you. And even if you're not perfect, I'm going to give you my perfection. So that's how the covenants work. All right. And then Moses goes back up and says, all right, once the people say we're going to do it, he goes back up and he's up there for 40 days and 40 nights. And God gives him some more instructions. And then that's where this story is going to end. So let's go ahead and we're going to read Exodus chapter 24. Now he said to Moses, come up to the Lord, you and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu and 70 of the elders of Israel, and worship from afar. And Moses alone shall come near the Lord, but they shall not come near, nor shall the people go up with him. So Moses came and told the people all the words of the Lord and all the judgments. And all the people answered with one voice and said, all the words which the Lord has said we will do. And Moses wrote all the words of the Lord. And he rose early in the morning and built an altar at the foot of the mountain, and 12 pillars according to the 12 tribes of Israel. Then he sent young men of the children of Israel who offered burnt offerings and sacrificed peace offerings of oxen to the Lord. And Moses took half the blood and put it in basins, and half the blood he sprinkled on the altar. Then he took the book of the covenant and read in the hearing of the people, and they said, all that the Lord has said we will do, and be obedient. And Moses took the blood, sprinkled it on the people, and said, this is the blood of the covenant which the Lord has made with you, according to all these words. Then Moses went up, also Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel, and they saw the God of Israel. And there was under his feet as if it were a paved work of sapphire stone, and it was like the very heavens in its clarity. But on the nobles of the children of Israel he did not lay his hand, so they saw God, and they ate and drank. Then the Lord said to Moses, come up to me on the mountain and be there, and I will give you tablets of stone, and the law and commandments which I have written, that you may teach them. So Moses arose with his assistant Joshua, and Moses went up to the mountain of God. And he said to the elders, "Wait here for us until we come back to you. Indeed, Aaron and Hur are with you. If any man has a difficulty, let him go to them." Then Moses went up into the mountain, and a cloud covered the mountain. The glory of the Lord rested on Mount Sinai, and the cloud covered it 6 days. And on the 7th day he called to Moses out of the midst of the cloud. The sight of the glory of the Lord was like a consuming fire on the top of the mountain in the eyes of the children of Israel. So Moses went into the midst of the cloud and went up into the mountain. And Moses was on the mountain 40 days and 40 nights. May God bless the reading of his word, and may God bless you. Bye.